Day 9-ish of being homeless. I just left one of my boyfriend's places. He said I can't stay again tonight because he has shit to do, whatever that means. And just kind of drying up for me. Everyone's like pissing me off. They're being rude about the fact that I'm homeless. So I'm gonna go to Burley, go for a hot girl walk. I've done my makeup just to walk, and I'm gonna go ask every hot guy for their number and then see if I can find a place to sleep tonight. Otherwise, I'm sleeping in my car, which is fine. This is comfy as fuck. Not complaining at all.
Women live in a completely different reality to men. Seriously, in your darkest hours, you have probably done the thought experiment of wondering how you would survive if you were homeless. Did you ever think to yourself, oh, it's fine, I'll just stay at one of my numerous girlfriends' houses, problem solved? Yeah, turns out for men, the solution isn't that easy. This reminds me of that meme, 1 in 4 homeless people are women. That's a weird way of saying 75% of homeless people are men. The truth is that your status as a homeless woman is much higher than that of a homeless man. And that's not just because the culture at large values female life so much higher than it does male life. It's because female suffering is seen as a societal problem to fix. But male suffering, well, that's up to the individual. He needs to fix it himself. There is no equivalence between a broke woman and a broke man. If you're like this woman, it doesn't matter if you're broke and homeless. You can still confidently approach hot guys and find somewhere to sleep that night. But if you're a broke and homeless man, you're out of options. Women are not going to come to your rescue. Sadly, the attitude from so many of these modern women is that if you're not spending money on them, then they see no value in you. Observe this fight that broke out when a boyfriend refused to pick up a $4,600 restaurant check. His girlfriend invited 18 of her friends, and she never told him that she expected him to pay.
Like, you really just should have paid for all of our food.
For one, I'm not paying for everybody's food. It's your birthday, cool, but I'm not doing that. It's 18.
Why do you gotta pay for all y'all food though?
You brought 18 friends. I'm finna leave you. You staying here with them or you coming with me?
Nobody wants a broke man. She's telling the truth. So many of these women judge the value of a man by the size of his wallet. But do you want to know the real difference between men and women when it comes to money? If a man suddenly becomes wealthy, he thinks, this is amazing. Now I can provide for my wife so that she doesn't need to work. If a woman suddenly becomes wealthy, she thinks, this is amazing. Now I don't need a man. If you give money to a man, his impulse is to share it, to support his wife, to provide for her. If you give money to a woman, her impulse is selfish, to keep it to herself. That's a big claim, Alexander. You better have some hard data to back that up. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Last year in Sweden, they did a study called Fortunate Families, the Effects of Wealth on Marriage and Fertility. They were studying what effects winning the lottery had on people's relationships for men and for women, and the results are fascinating. But before we explore the science of how possessing money changes women's attitude towards men, let's first talk about the science of flirting. I know a lot of you guys want to improve your conversation skills with women. You want to know how to create attraction. Luckily for you, there are people who have studied, analyzed, and tested this, and they've got it down to a formula. I'm talking about the F formula, created by Marnie, your personal wing girl. Her YouTube channel has 1.3 million subscribers, and her science-backed formula has helped tens of thousands of guys find success in dating. Even if you think a girl is out of your league, by using the F formula, it's going to give you a step-by-step guide to make contact, build attraction, and start dating. I've said this so many times on my channel, game is the equalizer. It changed my dating life when I was 19. You might not be rich, you might not be a male model, but every guy can learn game. And because the Wing Girl method is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my audience an amazing deal. Just click the link in the description box below and you'll get access to an exclusive preview of the F formula for free. If you're single and you're not having success with women, you need to check this out. Click the link below and get access now. Okay, back to this study and what effect gaining a lot of money fast has on the female psyche and her attitude towards men. Actually, first, let's talk about what happens to men if they win the lottery. In the subsample of male winners, all point estimates suggest that windfalls stabilize marriages. A 1 million Swedish krona windfall reduces the probability of divorce by 6 percentage points, equivalent to a 40% reduction in relative risk. A man gets a bunch of money and it stabilizes the marriage. It reduces the likelihood of divorce. In the female subsample, the pattern is strikingly different. Married women who win the lottery are more likely to get divorced in the short run. Our estimate suggests a 1 million Swedish krona windfall effectively doubles the short-run risk of divorce. You can see that getting money gives men and women the opposite impulse. Men move towards providing, women move towards hoarding. Let's look at the graphs. Okay, let's look at this one first, marriage formation. Look how different the genders are. When a man becomes wealthy, his desire to get married and provide shoots up. His marriage is stabilized. But when a woman becomes wealthy, she bails. This also has an effect on fertility. When a man becomes wealthy, there's a huge increase. They want to have children. They want to use that money to create offspring. Whereas for women, it basically makes no difference. Now let's look at a different study. This one is on the impact that getting a promotion at work has on your marriage, and the results are the same. For men, when they get a promotion, when they become more wealthy, you can see that they are more likely to remain married. But for a woman, her getting a promotion means that she is more likely to seek divorce. Men share their money, women hoard it. Now, isn't it interesting that men are constantly shamed and criticized? Like, men are so pathetic that they can't handle a woman who has her own money. They're threatened by her success. Their ego is so fragile. Why can't men handle being with a woman who makes more money than he does? You know, I think that men, they just want to control women. They want to have all the money so that the woman is dependent upon them. These are bullshit, sexist lies that blame men to distract you from the real issue at play here, which is, why are women so selfish with their money? Why are they so happy to take? Why do they feel so righteously entitled to a man's money, and yet if some good fortune happens to them and they suddenly become wealthy, there's no instinct from them to share? It truly is a disgusting aspect of female psychology, and sadly, it's widespread.
And he took me in, he put me into nursing school, he got my hair, nails, everything done. So he up here on this level, I'm down here on this level. You get where I'm going? He got me up here with him because he was making good money. But then he ended up losing his job 2 years ago. Lost his job, and now he broke. What did I do? Broke up with him and got on because I'm not finna take care of no grown man. I'm not doing that.
I mean, didn't feminism fight for equality? For men and women being treated equally? No, that was all lies. They just wanted privilege. So you know what? We need to stop shaming men for wanting to earn more than their partners, as though that's some defect in men. There is a defect here, but it's in women. When a man says, I want to make more money than my wife, it's because he has noticed that women are attracted to men who make more money than them. It appeals to their hypergamy, and he knows that if he wants to retain the attraction of his wife, this is how it needs to be. He's also noticed that if a woman has more money than her husband, then the marriage is less stable, and why would he want an unstable marriage? She's more likely to seek divorce. She's also less likely to want children. Plus, there's this frighteningly common female attitude.
Our money is our money, but her money is her money, right? She's earning for herself.
Man, you have to understand all of the propaganda that you have been fed, how women are kind, compassionate, generous. It's in female nature to nurture and to take care of people. None of that applies to you. She does not see it as her role to take care of men. Women are hypergamous, which means they only date men that they feel are superior to them. They feel like that is the natural order of things. Women like to feel like men are superior. That's why they can't bring themselves to date a man who makes less money than her, who's shorter than her, who's less intelligent. She wants to be the weaker one in the relationship. She wants her man to be stronger and more capable than she is. The idea of her paying for her man, providing for him, that fills her with disgust. It feels unnatural to her. Why, after winning the lottery or getting a promotion at work, are these women divorcing their husbands? It's because now that she has more money, the arrangement feels unnatural to her. And as stupid as it is, I would respect feminism if it had some consistency to it. Like if they said, women are equal to men, we're going to treat everyone equally, and then they actually stuck to that ideal. Men, you do 50% of the housework, 50% of the childcare, and I, the woman, will provide 50% of the paycheck. Like, I would think that that's moronic because it goes against biology. There's a much more sensible division of labor based on each gender's inherent strengths and weaknesses. But if you sincerely applied that equality, I would at least respect the integrity of it. But modern feminism is so foul and odious. It feels entitled to these disgraceful double standards that privilege women and take advantage of men. I have much more respect for women like this.
We women have to be honest with ourselves about a few things, which is, right now, women, if you make a certain amount of money, we do not date men that do not make the same amount of money or more than us. Women on average actually do not want to. And so we have this conundrum where if women are making more, men are making the same, and in some instances less, what happens to the dating pool? And so I think women, if we're going to make more money, we got to start saying, it doesn't really matter if our partner makes the same amount of money. I mean, Chris, my husband, was a Navy SEAL. Spoiler, the government doesn't pay well. So I made more than he did in the beginning, but his compass was never money. His compass was service and excellence. Your bank account has no ability to hurt a man one way or the other. But if you make him feel less than for the amount of money that he's making, even not on purpose, I'm sure she's lovely, then certainly you can. But I think that's where women get it wrong. We're like, he doesn't want to date me because I'm too rich. I have never in my life met a guy that goes, the thing is, she's got too much cash. Fuck that broad. Like, that doesn't happen. You know, what happens is I feel less than with her because she makes so much money.
Shout out to her and all of the high quality women like her who view a man's contribution as more than just a paycheck. Those women who are attracted to men because of their inner qualities. You ladies are awesome. Thank you. And I'm going to spend the rest of this video talking about how to spot a high quality woman who has that integrity, who knows how to handle her finances correctly with regards to sharing it with her male partner. And I'm also going to explain how to handle it if your circumstances are such that your partner does make more money than you, but you want her to still admire you and remain attracted to you. This video is not over. It continues on Patreon, where I'm going to explore all of that in depth. What I post here on YouTube, these are just the shortened, abridged versions of my videos. If you would like access to the full-length versions of all of my content, including this video, come and join me on Patreon.